There's so much stuff that I wish I knew in order to grow my money mindset, to make more money, to attract more money. What do you have to do so that you can also enter your rich girl era? Welcome back to the Power of Personal Branding and Manifestation podcast with your host. It's me, Malika, entrepreneur, content creator, and your girl to personal branding and manifestation. So today, let's dive into how you can start growing your money mindset in order to be able to make more money, attract more money, and finally be able to enter that, rich girl era, that version of you that has that money, that is achieving these goals with the money that you want to be making. Okay, because a lot of people look at money as a number, when that is really the wrong way to go about it. And I'm going to tell you all the stuff that you need in order to grow your money mindset. So let's dive into it. A lot of people look at money as a number, which is true. Like, yeah, it is part of a number. Like, obviously, when you think of money, you do associate it to like either those papers or like the number in your bank account or stuff like that, right? But money is actually just an exchange of energy for what we perceive the value to be. I need to tell you that money isn't attracted to a number, but a meaning. And that's really what I want to get into, because this is something that I didn't properly understand at first when I was trying to reach my goal within my business. And I was like, okay, this month I want to make X amount, or this month I want to make this amount. Okay, now this month I want to make this amount, right? And I was really that's the thing, like I was really just focusing on the number, which is wrong. It's not what you need to focus on if you want to actually be abundant with your money. What you need to do, is let's say you decide on an amount. You're like, okay, like I want to like manifest 5K like extra, okay, like what does that money represent? How many people are you helping? Where's your energy going? When you get this money, how will you feel? What will you do with it? When you are doing the action step to attract this money, how are you feeling? Are you desperate for it? Are you abundant? Are you like, yes, I know it's coming to me because I'm so valuable? Are you like, oh my God, like, please, like, pay me, please? Because all of these factors are part of the meaning of money, are part of the money exchange, are part of the energy exchange. And all of that really is going to like shape the circumstances in which you get your money and in which you feel when you do have your money. Okay, and this is so important to know. Money is not like a real thing, right? Like these papers that we have, these like numbers that we have, they're just a number for a transaction of exchange of that energy. Okay, so for example, you get paid like minimum wage and you're very replaceable, then the amount of money that you get in return of that is going to be accurate to that representation of the perceived value that you are exchanging, because you're exchanging your energy, and in exchange you're getting that back, that like money energy back. Okay, so that's how you need to start looking at it. Okay, it's not a number, it's actually an exchange of energy. Okay, versus if I take it on the other scale of the side, which is like, let's say you are an expert in your field and you are very, very, very valuable and you are not easily replaceable, well, you will have more perceived value, and therefore your energy exchange is going to be higher, right? Because of that perceived value that you bring out. So now that I've brought up energy, okay, let's really dive into that. Let's really dive into energies, okay? Because how you feel with the amount that you make right now with your money is the same exact way you will feel when you make more money. And this is something that I didn't personally realize until I made a lot more in my business. And I was like, oh shit, like there's actually something wrong here, because I feel the exact same way as when I was just making $1,000 with my business. And now I'm making much more and I'm feeling the same way. And this is when I realized that there was really a disconnect with my energy, because I was very fearful with my money. I was like, oh my God, I need to keep my money. I need to keep my money. And then I made more money, and then I still felt that way. I was still scared of like losing my money, if that makes sense, right? And so I was still in this like scarcity mindset. It's like you are afraid, you are fear, right? And when you attach this emotion to money, when you receive money, you still have that emotion attached to it. And the problem with that is that this like doesn't allow you to be able to attract and make more money, because you are so scared. So this number one shows that like you are not really trusting in yourself and in your value and your worth. And second, it also shows that like you are not willing to invest in stuff that are actually going to make you more money in the long run. And so you are actually like sabotaging yourself in the long run, right? And so this is why having good energy attached to the feeling of having money, of getting money, is really, really important. And feeling that energy when you spend your money and feeling good when you spend your money is so important. It is so freaking vital, because if you always feel like shit and you always feel bad when you're spending your money, you're like, oh fuck, like, oh my God, like you pull out your credit card to pay for dinner, you're like, oh fuck, like you like pay and you're like, oh, like I don't want to pay for that, like, oh fuck, like, you know, like, or like anything, literally like anything, like, oh my God, I have to pay this like bill for like my car, like whatever, like it attach this bad energy around money. And the thing is that money is money, okay? So when you give out money and when you receive money, it will be in the same energy. It will be the same, because it is still money. And it's not because you have more money that you feel safer in your money. You feel safer in your money when you embody the abundance mindset, when you feel abundant, when you are already grateful for what you have and you get more of what you already have, because you are so grateful, because you're so trusting, because you believe that you deserve it, and therefore it will always come to you, because you are doing the exchange of energy. And the thing when you are scared of like spending your money or whatever, it also makes you scared to make more money. And that's something we don't talk about a lot, okay? So when you are scared of losing your money, when you're scared, like, you know, you're like, oh, like you attach this bad feeling around money, okay? What that also does is that you don't realize it, but you are scared of making money. And then you self-sabotage. Why? Because you are putting these like limits subconsciously, and it's limiting you to believe that you can make more money, because you are actually scared of making more money, because you have this bad feeling attached to money, because you are scared with your money. And all of this is all related together. Like this is all like a whole freaking nest, okay? So super important. Like when you embody abundance mindset, okay, you feel so grateful that you get to spend that money in exchange of this experience, in exchange of having this car, in exchange of having a roof over your head, in exchange of feeling good about yourself, in exchange, like, you know, like it's all about an exchange of energy. And you need to always feel so freaking grateful that you get to do that, that you are grateful that you are doing this exchange of energy. Because the thing about exchange is that it's a circle. It always comes back, okay? And that's the thing we need to remember. And when you are also like really in your abundant mindset with your money, okay, what that does, it actually start attracting people to you like a lot easily, okay? Because even for me, like, let's say I want to go with someone or pay for like a coaching or a training, I don't want to go with someone who's like desperate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go to someone that's like, oh my God, like, please. I want to go to someone that's like confident. They know what they're doing. They know the value that they bring to the table. And that's like an energy thing. Like, you can just feel it. It's like a presence thing. You have a different aura when you are embodying that mindset because of how much you are confident in your money and you are confident in the value and in the exchange of energy that you bring to the table. And that immediately just like makes you so much more abundant in your life because people feel that and they want to go to you, right? Like, nobody wants to go, like, it's like the same thing when you're making friends. Like, if there's someone that's like a little puppy and they're like, please, like, be my friend, like, you don't want to be their friend. You're like, stop. You know, it's the same thing. I want to share something that I didn't realize before I started investing more and more in myself and in my business. But the more you invest in yourself, the more your value actually increases. The more your self-worth actually increases more and more. And the thing is that when you have a larger value to yourself, when you have a larger self-worth, your impact that you have is also greater. And therefore, the exchange of energy is more impactful. And that means that you can also charge more because of the value that you provide that is much more valuable now. And therefore, this keeps going in a cycle, right? So you invest, then your value and your self-worth grows, and then the impact that you bring to the table grows, and therefore the money exchange also grows along with the amount of money that you will be receiving and attracting to you. Okay, so all of these things are all intertwined, they're all connected. When people have a business and they are kind of like struggling to get like consistent clientele, and then they're like, oh, but I want to wait to have clients, more clients, before I invest in my business to learn how to make more clients. But like, do you see the disconnect here? It's like, you need to be willing to invest in yourself first to be able to have that money come back to you times 3, times 5, right? Because if you are thinking about it in a scarcity mindset, which is like, oh my God, like, I am spending my money, so I'm losing my money. This is part of the scarcity mindset. This is part of, oh my God, I'm giving my money away. I'm going to be fucked because I'm not going to see that money back, which is wrong. Like I previously mentioned, it is a circle. What you invest in, okay, it comes back to you always. Okay, and this is what I see a lot of people struggle with, which is to invest in yourself. Like, I think I already brought this up in another episode, but the first time I ever spent my money on a course was with my brother. We split the course in 2, okay, and I think we paid like about like, I don't remember how much it was exactly, but I think it was about like 500 to like 600 each that we paid, and I was 15. And I spent like close to like $600. So like, you know, I feel like you need to stop making excuses for why you can't afford it, or you can't spend it, or you can't invest in yourself. You can't invest in your business. You can't invest in good materials yet. You can't invest in good equipment. You can't invest in good formation or training or coaching. Like, that's just a bunch of BS because you are scared. You are afraid because you don't like trust yet that this money will come back to you, which it will if you actually are willing to do that exchange of energy. And oftentimes what we need is to really put it into perspective so that you're able to see the bigger picture. Because one of them is really, you are afraid, you are scared, and you are scared around money, right? And the other one is you know that this will come back to you times 5, times 3, and you are willing to put that money in order to get those results, so that when you do get those results, you get your money back. Now, I cannot talk about money mindset without bringing up the most like ingrained thing in our society around money that is so freaking harmful to our money mindset, which is to believe that you have to work hard in order to have money, or to get paid well, or to have good money. You have to work really, really hard, and you have to always be working hard and suffering and and all that stuff. I feel like this is something that is so ingrained in our society. Okay, it is something that's like literally ingrained in our like subconscious, and we literally need to pull it the fuck out, because this literally destroys the possibility of freedom, of having the time, enjoying your life, because most of us, we start our business or we start doing our passion because we want that freedom, because we want to live our life however we like and however we are going to enjoy it, following our passion and having the freedom to do so and to do other things as well, right? And so this literally kills the possibility of freedom. And I have like the perfect example for this, because for my first business, which was, I would do makeup services and everything, I really built that business upon kind of like a foundation of that belief, like in order to get a lot of money, I need to work really, really hard. And what happened was that I was really booked out, and I realized that I actually wasn't living, and I was always so freaking tired. And the days that I was off, I would literally not want to do anything because of how tired I was. I was so tired, on my days off, I wasn't like, let me enjoy my money, let me enjoy my life. I was just like, oh my God, I'm dead. I need to nap, and I need to literally restock on all the stuff because I'm so booked out, and I literally have no life. So that was literally my belief. When I look back, there would have been so many ways for me to actually make passive money within that same industry, without actually having to be busy all the freaking time, and without overworking myself so much. And why that is because of that belief, is because of that thing that was ingrained, that we need to work hard in order to get money, when it's not necessarily the case. Yes, of course, being an entrepreneur, you need to, be disciplined, and you need to put in the work, but it doesn't mean that in order to get good money, or in order to get paid, you have to suffer, you have to literally have no life, and you have to work so hard. It doesn't have to be like that. And when you take out that belief in your head that is not serving you, there becomes so much more possibility to how you can actually make money, and not it costing your time all the time. This also makes you expand your mind to the possibility of how much you can make, right? Of how much you could charge, of the possibility that hey, actually I'm allowed to make this bigger sum of money. I'm allowed to charge more. I'm allowed to, hey, okay, I want to save up on my time. Actually, now this is gonna cost you more per hour, right? We're allowed to do that, but this belief makes us think no, you have to work hard for a little bit, a little penny. No, you don't have to. So this brings me to my next limiting belief, okay, which is I'm bad dealing with my money or whatever, okay? Because managing your money well is so important, okay? And we do not want to I don't want you to be constantly affirming this limiting belief that's sabotaging you, okay? So you need to obviously go in with like, okay, how, like, if you're not really good at managing your money, how can you get better at it, right? Like, how can you get better at it? And the thing with being able to make good money, to attract more money, is that you need to be able to manage your money. And how you do that is really knowing and being very conscious of what goes in and what goes out, right? Because if you're not tracking how much you're spending, how much you are making, and you're simply just looking at your bank account and you're like, oh yeah, this is good enough. That used to be me. Because I used to just look at my bank account and be like, yeah, that's good enough, whatever. And I would not even like know how much I'm making and like how much I'm spending. I didn't know. I had literally no idea. And when I started like really being conscious and tracking my money, it really helped me increase how much I was making so much. Okay, because I was aware of where my money was going and where I was spending it, where I was receiving it, and therefore I was able to implement some strategies in order to, make more money, instead of just being in the like, oh, I'm gonna avoid it because it makes me uncomfortable and like I don't want to see it because it stressed me out, right? So I decided, okay, like, does where I'm spending my money match with the priorities that I have? Like, I say that I have these priorities, but like, is my money going where I'm saying that I want it to go, right, or not? And then I would just take out everything that wasn't matching my priority. And so if it wasn't going somewhere that like was intentional, and I was like, okay, like, actually I did not mean for this money to be there, okay, let me stop putting my money there. All right. And I know that it can be hard, like, at first, to start looking at your money and looking at your bank account and tracking your money, knowing where it's going. But the thing is, we are trying to build a good relationship with money, okay? Like, if it's your friend, you're not gonna start avoiding your friend all the time. If you want money to be your friend, if you want money to like you, you need to start looking at your money. What goes in, what goes out, where are your priorities with money? And now let's talk about matching energies. This is gonna be good. Okay, so you need to match energy with money. Okay, what does that mean? I've already touched a little bit on this in my other episode, but basically it means that the value that you bring to the table and the energy exchange that you are doing with your clients or whatever it is that you are doing, okay, it needs to be compatible. Okay, so if you have someone coming to you and they're not willing to invest that money in you, and you are like, oh, actually, okay, let me like lower my price, what you are doing is that you are also lowering your vibration. You were at like going to be rich girl era vibration, but now you're like being like, okay, let me be in the scarcity mindset that keeps me stuck all the time. That's what's happening. Okay, and so it's really important to be able to hold your ground and be like, hey, like, this is actually how much I'm worth. And, if you are not willing to invest that in me, then I guess you're just not seeing the value that you're going to get. So I guess this is not for you, and it's okay, because you always want to stay in the highest vibration with your energy, because of the fact that this will end up attracting more energy. Because let's say you are letting these clients slide and you're like, okay, like, yeah, actually I'm gonna do it for like half the price. And then you have another client that's like, oh, hey, I saw you recommend, like, this girl recommended me, and like, I saw that you did for this price, can you do it for this price? Okay, then you're always like attracting all these clients that are not willing to pay for more. And instead, if you were to, know your value, know your worth, and know the exchange of energy that you want to have, well, you would actually be bringing these people that want to pay you that amount that you are doing with your exchange of energy. And so it's so important. And something that I see also happening is that a lot of people think, okay, but actually in my niche or whatever, and what I'm doing, like, people are not actually willing to pay me for, the money that I'm requesting. And if this happens a lot, it means that there's a disconnect somewhere. So it's either that you are not actually showing enough of the value that you can bring, or they don't understand the value that you can bring, and so they're not actually willing to invest in you. The other thing that can be happening is that you're not marketing yourself to the right people, or you are not marketing yourself well enough in order for them to be able to see the value to invest in you. Or number three, it could actually be that the value that you provide is not enough, and there's something that you need to change in your approach and your offer, something, whatever, that there's a disconnect, and you need to start implementing it. You need to make a change, because always like one of those three things that I see happening, right? And when you have those three things in order, the money just flows to you. And now I do want to mention that if you yourself are looking to increase your income, you want to finally get to see those consistent clients coming in that actually values you and pay you for your actual worth, okay, and you want to market yourself in a way that will allow you to attract those amazing clients, that will allow you to increase your income, I definitely invite you to book your free discovery call with me, where we'll go over the exact strategy that will work for you and your business in order for you to get to see those results, and if you would be a good fit for the program. The link is down below if you want to schedule your free discovery call. And if you love this episode, make sure to send it to someone who needs to hear this, who needs to grow their money mindset, all right? And leave a comment down below telling me like how much you want to be making every month. I would love to know. And as always, stay amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.